as usual, we learn there's never a dull moment in ODs on Facebook. A doc posts their patient is upset that her vision is blurry after taking her glasses off and wanted to know what other things docs have heard from patients that make you go, Well, one doc had an angry father whose son couldn't see out of the glasses he got at Costco, blaming the doc for writing the wrong RX, of course. It never happens to me, though. What really happened is the father gave Costco his wife's RX, not the son's. Shocking. These patients, they're quick to get angry. They don't unangry easily, right? Then, a doc brought up the phenomena of patients who report a big change in their vision, and nothing in the history is adding up. So what do? You keep pushing them for more history. They finally report that it only happens when they take their glasses off. Of course. This is the worst, though, when it happens at the end of the exam. And this is why we drink. Next, there was a doc who told the patient she was going to look at the back of her eye. And what does the patient ask? Do I need to bend over? I'm not going to do anything with that one. This is a family show. And when you show them their old RX compared to their very different new RX at the end of the exam, and their response is, wow, did my prescription change? Internal voice, really? You're an idiot, and clearly the gene pool is shallow near you. Now, this was an interesting one. A doc shared the time a patient's car caught fire in the parking lot. Wait, that's not the interesting thing. What was interesting was the patient chose to continue with the eye exam while police and firefighters were putting out the fire. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm thinking he either set the fire himself for God knows what reason, or didn't set the fire, but in the epitome of passive-aggressive behavior figured, well, too late to do anything now, or made the value judgment that a missed exam fee is higher than the value of the car, and mentally wrote the car off. Who knows? I long thought that I'd love to publish a coffee table book of stupid things people write on entrance forms that are posted in ODs on Facebook. A doc posts this entrance form and writes, guys, I can tell I'm going to need help on this one. Hope the patient's okay. I always wondered why people automatically think astigmatism is such a bad thing, even a disease. Maybe it's because it has the phrase stigma in it. Or it just plain sounds like a word that means something awful, but it really isn't that awful. Like borborygmus. Or masticate. One doc was told the other day, my grandma died from astigmatism. So sad. What a painful way to go. I bet her epitaph read, she always lived against the rule. And then there are people who are over -5 with 3/4 of a diopter of sil who put in their reason for visit, you guessed it, stigmatism. When you tell people, well, actually everyone has a little astigmatism, they actually look upset. Like they're not special anymore. Or maybe because they feel a doctor in the past lied to them. Well, at least they don't have the dreaded double astigmatism. For real. A doc posts this and says, got a live one. Now, here we go with microchips and things again. First question is, well, can you? There's so many ways you could mess with these people, like telling them, yes, we're seeing them all the time now that people are getting vaccinated. Or saying, yes, it's $5,000 out of pocket for the experimental chip, or I can render your chip inactive with this handheld light for $5,000. Then there's always the opportunity to refer this person to your least favorite ophthalmologist. Now, a doc posts this pic and asks the community what their thoughts are. The consensus was fundus albipunctatus. Just another beautiful clinical image that I wanted to make sure you didn't miss this week. To find other beautiful clinical images, compelling photos, or scans in the community, just use the small magnifying glass search tool there and type in the hashtag TFT, and it turns the content in the community into only posts with compelling clinical images. A doc wants to know if it's just become acceptable to show up 5 to 10 minutes late to doctor appointments. As if that isn't bad enough, there are the patients who show up late and ask to go to the bathroom after they've put they're put in the exam lane, and you kind of mull around, popping your head in and out every few minutes to see if they're back in the chair, that is. If they acknowledge they were late, and they were very late, you can always ask them, what part of the exam should I leave out? Especially annoying when they get a reminder the day before and a half hour before, and yes, are still late. And guaranteed 50% of people who run late were delayed by a barista because they all come in with a full grande latte. Pandemic is either making people slower, ruder, or crazier. The winning comment was, all exam slots are created equal. All patients are created differently. If you are more than 10 minutes late, you will be rescheduled. Well, that's it for this week in ODs on Facebook. We got a great show.